Hi, my name is Cy Porter, and this is another tutorial on creative writing. And so the topic today is playing with where your reader thinks the story is going. First, I'd like to like if you've watched a couple of my tutorials, you probably realize that I'm writing for entertainment for the drama. As a fiction writer, those are important goals of mine to become a better fiction writer. So um, when you're writing a fictitious scene, whatever scene you're in, just stop and ask yourself, um, where does the reader think this scene is going? And there's a really nice turn of events that you can do in fiction where so you have a future scene and you need to do some setting up in previous scenes. So you have like the last scene is like one of your characters is falling from a bridge. So in a previous scene you might have him, I'm really making this up on the spot. So you might have, you need to have a reason for him to go to the bridge. And so you can have a scene where, as a plot creator, your objective is to get him to the bridge, but you can have him end up going there for a totally different reason. So he could go there to meet someone who isn't even alive anymore. Or well, I don't know. He's going there to meet someone who's not going to be there. So your reader, okay, so in the first scene your reader sees him, planning to go meet someone there. So what the reader is anticipating is a meeting with that other character. And that's what they're excited about, and that's what they're pretty sure is going to happen, and that is what they either want or don't want to happen, and that's what they're sitting on the edge of their seat about is, you know, uh, the meeting of the two characters. So what doesn't happen is the meeting of two characters, but what does happen is your character arriving at the bridge and subsequently falling off the bridge. So what happens is your character is surprised. Their expectancy doesn't turn out. It doesn't turn out the way they're kind of looking at it turning out. But the reason this works is because even though the scene did not turn out the way they were thinking it was going to turn out, it still is a strong scene in that it totally builds up for what does happen. So you can't just surprise your reader. You can't just have things happen that they weren't expecting. You also need your scenes to actually, be there for a reason. You can't have someone walking down the street, oh surprise, brick falls out of the sky and knocks them dead. You have scenes where they always think it's going somewhere and it always veers off and goes in another direction. But effective drama is when they can still look back at those earlier scenes and go, but if he didn't plan to meet so and so out at the bridge, he never would have gone there and had fallen off. So even though you want to surprise your viewer, you still want them to, believe in the story. In that you want, if you can go back to each scene and with hindsight and say, oh well, I wasn't expecting that to happen, but it is a total surprise, and yet it was totally leading up to that anyway, even though I was expecting it to be leading up to something else. So that, this is very effective, this whole scenario. And so just keep in mind, you can start working with this scenario simply by in each scene asking yourself, where does the viewer think the scene is going? And actually, you don't need to a lot of the times, as you work on a story and a story evolves, this situation occurs by itself simply because as you rewrite, draft, the next draft of a story, what happens is that you're trying to get from point A to point B, and you're trying to find, believable reasons for these things happening to the character. And those believable reasons that you find a lot of the times will end up eluding the expectations of your reader. And this makes for really good drama. Just a quick note about how to view my tutorials. The way I think it would be most effective is just to watch them and, then just go back to whatever creative work you're working on. And I think just in the course of watching them, it will, start to have an effect on what you're doing creatively. Ultimately, I think the best writing comes from you, just really doing what is most interesting to you at the time, and not following formulas, and not, not trying to commit to, a very, just do what is working for you. But I'm hoping that what you can do is, by watching my tutorials, just food for thought. So if you want your fiction to be more exciting, to have more, to have your viewer, sitting on the edge of their seat, trick expectancy and think about, you know, a reader is always thinking about what is going to happen, where the story is going, what the outcome is going to be. So if you can, every time you veer away from those assumptions and that expectancy, that creates the dramatic excitement that makes a work of fiction really wonderful.
I hope my tutorials are useful to you. I post them to get the word out about a story I'm working on at solomation.com. I post free episodes of my illustrated story, so if you have a few minutes, please check it out. Thank you, and I hope your next writing session is a good one.
Okay, so here's the deal. I live for my art and my storytelling, and I've been working on a lengthy graphic novel that I'm adapting to film and putting up at solomation.com, which can be viewed for free. And like any artist, I live to have people check it out. So please take the time and check it out. And good luck with your writing. Another quick note. So why is it that this whole scenario of the story going in one direction and suddenly going in another direction, why is that so effective as good storytelling? Because that's what happens in real life. In real life, our brains are wired to anticipate what's going to happen, but inevitably there are surprises. So this storytelling that works this way affects people on a deep level.